Hey guys, JV here bringing you my weekly vlog update. And for this week, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the games I've been playing and of course, plans for the future, because that's like every single week. So anyways, let's go ahead and start out with Mafia. I've been playing a lot of Mafia 3 lately. Actually, before I started playing a lot of Mafia, before it came out, I was playing a lot of Witcher 3 on my computer, and I was really enjoying what my new PC can really crank out in the graphics department. Everything is just so smooth in 60 frames, and I've really been enjoying The Witcher, and I'm just like, why did I not play this game before? I played the first like 2-3 hours over probably like 3 times to try to get into the game since it came out early last year, I think it was. Yeah, it was like March of 2015, and I never got into it. And then finally I'm getting into it now, and I had to put it on hold because, you know, Mafia came out, and obviously that's a big game that I wanted to start playing right when it came out. So yeah, I'll be playing more Witcher in the future, but Mafia 3, I'm very, very much enjoying the game on my new PC. As you guys know, as some of you know, it was released originally in only 30 FPS, locked at 30, and people were, you know, upset about that. Understandably, if you spend a lot of money on a machine, you want it to, you know, you want a game to be able to run at its maximum, you know, capabilities, right? And so 2K has released a 60 FPS update, and it's really buttery smooth right now. There are a few graphical hiccups that I noticed. Like sometimes the sky looks like it's like lava or something crazy like that. I don't know what's going on with that stuff, but otherwise, just from a general gameplay standpoint, and the way it runs on my machine, I guess I'm no, you know, I'm not like a PC reviewer. I don't evaluate games like that. But from what I've played, it is very smooth and it's very fun. I've gotten past the point that I played at Novato, California. As you guys know, I went over to 2K and played the game early. I've gotten past that point. Now I'm playing content I've never played before. So it's really exciting. I really love the period piece game that they created. And the music is fantastic. I can't tell you how awesome it is to open up Mafia 3 and hear All Along the Watchtower by Hendrix every single time. I'm just like, every time I open the game, it's really a lot of fun. So I'm planning some sort of content for the game in the next few days. I've been recording everything that I've been playing on my PC. So smooth 60 FPS gameplay. I've got all of it. So I got plenty of footage to chop together and bring you guys something really cool. So not sure what it is yet. Still working on that. But expect that in the next few days. That should be my next video. If not, you'll see some kind of Overwatch. I've been recording some Overwatch as well. My voice and my friends' voices, I got, you know, made sure that all worked. So I might have a few highlight videos in the next week as well. So expect that. But also back to Mafia 3, I got the Deep Cuts edition from 2K. Completely unexpected. I was just like, what? How? Like, there's a record player in this box? I picked up the box from my mail, and I was like, okay, this is really heavy. What is in here? And then I picked up the piece of paper that said, you got a special limited edition with a record player. And I was like, what? This is crazy. So I unboxed that for you guys on my channel yesterday. And that was just an incredibly cool gift. So yeah, big thanks to 2K once again for that. So yeah, again, you should see some Overwatch on my channel in the next week. I hope I should have some highlight videos, something of that nature. Sorry, I kind of went over that. I've got a list, as you guys know. So I've got a lot to talk about. So let's jump into content plans. I know this is literally every single vlog. People point that out. But this is a really important time for me for really kind of figuring out what's going on in my own head and delivering content for you guys, since it's very different than it's been over the past year. So what have I been doing the past week? I'm an interesting individual in that I have kind of specific ways that I like to think, and I really focus on strategy. I like to plan things before I make moves, and I want to make sure that everything makes sense before I make a move. That's just who I am. And so that process has been evaluating my own channel to see how I found success over the past year and understanding why I found success. That's important to me. It's kind of like how a business will evaluate its employees, or the employees will evaluate their managers. If it's a good business, that's what they do. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been evaluating my own performance over the past year to see how I found that success and see how I can move forward. I've also been evaluating other awesome channels that I look up to, that I am inspired by, and comparing my own channel to those channels. And so this is what I've found so far. Here are some of my conclusions. First off, the big thing that I think I've come to in my own mind that makes sense to me is that everyone has a gimmick, and Gimmick is a negative word. Let's change that to shtick. Everyone has a shtick, which is kind of the slang for gimmick. Everyone has something they do very well that's kind of like it's their you have a jack of all trades, master of none. These, the shtick is what that person is a master of. They are very good at that one specific thing or that one set of things that are, pretty much related. So every channel that is successful has that shtick. It has that gimmick. And my gimmick has been daily tips and tricks for Fallout 4. And that's what it has been over the past year and what I've found my most success, ever on any game with in relation to YouTube. It's been that gimmick. It's been that shtick of daily tips and tricks. And that's been it. It's been daily. It's been, I'm trying to get you a video that will help you every single day or, bring up something interesting in our community, talk about some kind of news that is released, something on Reddit, anything like that. That is my gimmick. That's why I think viewers come back to my channel and have come back over the past year. And as I evaluate other channels, some of these other channels I look up to and I am inspired by, most have similar gimmicks. Most have that one thing. I think we've already talked about that. But there are some key differences between my channel and some of the channels that I am evaluating. The big one is that they're not dependent on any one game. Being game dependent is, it's, as I'm realizing now, not a good thing. It's really not a good thing. It can be great that I'm able to pull in lots of viewership for a specific game because it's very big and it's kind of like right place, right time, that kind of thing. That's probably not giving myself enough credit, but that's great that I can do that. But I am very much game dependent, obviously. So that is a big difference between my channel's success and other channels' success. They are not game dependent. I am. Also, if I'm being completely honest, other channels that have these gimmicks and shticks are far more creative than mine. And the whole concept of tips and tricks is not very creative if you think about it. If you boil it down, you can be very creative with the way that you make your tips and tricks videos, of course, but the format itself, tips and tricks, that's just as old as time itself. No, that's silly. Yeah, tips and tricks, the format has been around forever. It's been around for a long time. And so the format itself is not very creative. And what I've also realized is the other channels I'm looking at, they are far more, their efforts are, all right, here we go. Let's rewind this back. They have much higher effort videos. These videos, I am looking at these videos and I can tell you from a creator's perspective, if my video takes 2 to 3 hours, that video over there that I am incredibly impressed by and that I love is a 10 to 15 hour effort. And again, that kind of goes back to the fact that I am doing daily tips and tricks. You can't make 10 to 15 hour effort videos if you're promising to do daily tips and tricks, right? That doesn't make any sense. So, that makes sense, right? Of course, there's going to be a disparity there if I promise daily videos. Also, if you're looking at another channel that has multiple people working on it, then clearly, it's a lot easier to put out higher quality videos if you have more people working on it than just one person. That's clearly something. But higher effort videos are something I've noticed out of these other channels that I'm evaluating with my own charts and systems. And it's all kind of crazy stuff. I don't even want to show it to you guys because you probably think I'm crazy. There's also an emphasis on a certain format. That's actually something that's similar. You guys know my format. I throw something up at the beginning of the video. It says Fallout 4. And then at the bottom, it says whatever I'm talking about. Then I have little things that pop up. I really like that format. It's quick. It's informative. And it makes sense with, I'm teaching you something. I need to have a little text there to tell you more about what I'm talking about. So there's always an emphasis on a format or a show. It doesn't matter how, whatever the channel is doing, how it's being successful, there's some kind of format, there's some kind of show that's going on. And that's something that I always think about. I'm like, what is a great name for a show where I do something specific? And I've never really done that outside of my daily tips and tricks for Fallout. And that's pretty much all I did over the past year. I mean, you can look at my videos, about 85%, 90%, probably more accurate, have been tips and tricks, Fallout 4, right? So that's what I've done. Another thing big takeaway is that there's been big personalities with these channels that I'm evaluating. Everyone has a unique personality, a unique voice. And if I'm being honest with myself, I've consciously chosen to damper my personality and kind of keep it dry, straight to the point. I want to bring you tips and tricks. Here they are. People do appreciate that. And I think that's kind of a reason why I've found success over the past year. It made sense for my content and the direction I took my channel with daily tips and tricks. I just want here's the tips and tricks, you know? I don't want to ramble on about nothing. I want to get straight to the point. But, you know, it sounds like I'm being hard on myself because I am. I'm harder on myself than anyone else. I'm really proud with what I've accomplished over the past year. I may be sounding, you know, negative about that. But the blueprint that I've set forth is not a blueprint for longevity, for long term. It really isn't. It's not sustainable. The biggest thing is that game dependency on Fallout 4 is a killer. It really is. And my format has not, because I've relied on just Fallout 4, that format has not been able to translate to other games very well. So, yeah, it's not a blueprint for the future. It's definitely time for change. And that may mean that this may not necessarily be strictly a tips and tricks channel. In fact, I hope it's not. I have been doing the same thing for quite a while now. And I want to be more creative. I want to put in more effort. So that's really what I'm thinking about right now. I don't want to ramble on much longer. This is already over 10 minutes for a vlog. I just want to share, you know, what I'm thinking. Nothing is set in stone right now for the future of the channel. So I'm just sharing what I'm thinking right now. Definitely a work in progress. This evaluation thing is still going on. But that's really what's going on in my head right now. So I just want to share that with you guys on our weekly vlogs. But just, I want to let you guys know that my focus is what I'm thinking about and what I really want to happen when I'm, you know, full steam ahead, making videos, constantly working 8 hours a day at least, is quality over quantity is a big thing. That's a change, a shift from what I've been doing, and not forcing out content. Those two things. And forcing out content is a fundamental part of the format. If I promise you daily tips and tricks, there's going to be some forcing out of content. There is. Every single day. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you think about it. So those are my focuses right now. So just want to share what I'm thinking with you guys. I'm in good spirits. You know, the views are definitely lower than they have been, but that's what's required right now for me, for my sanity to move forward. So anyways, now we're on to the Patreon part of the video. As you guys know, or if you didn't know, I have a Patreon page where you can donate to my efforts if you want to. Don't need to, don't require it to pay my bills or put food on the table. So link in the description below to my Patreon page if you want to donate to my efforts if you wish. We have a $5 tier and up if you pay $5 or more every single month to me, which is very generous. I shout out your name, and we have a new donator, Patreon patron this week. So anyways, big thanks to Phil, Sod, Jason, Eric, Matthias, Sergey, Jack, James, Stacy, and Tom. He rounds it out. There's 10 of you. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. I really appreciate it, and please know that that goes back into the channel directly. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this long-winded vlog. Lots of stuff going on in my mind, lots of evaluation, lots of planning for the future. So just hang in there. Hope you guys enjoy the content in the meantime. Again, there's going to be some Mafia, some Overwatch, that kind of stuff over the next week. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this little vlog. I'm going to go watch the debate. Maybe I'll play a little drinking game. You know, every time Trump says Mexico, take a little drink. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I will talk to you very soon.